When I started the night shift at St. Alden's Church, I thought it would be peaceful work, quiet, steady, and easy to forget about once the sun came up. The town was small, surrounded by endless fields and fog that rolled in so thick it made the streetlights look like distant fires. The church sat at the highest point, overlooking everything like it had been waiting for centuries. Father Mathers was the one who hired me. He was an older man, polite but distracted, as if his mind was always somewhere else. When he showed me around, he mentioned that my main job was to keep the place locked at night and make sure no one came in after hours. He said that a few locals had a habit of wandering in when they shouldn't. His tone was calm, but there was a tension in it, like he was warning me about something he couldn't explain out loud. The first night was uneventful. I checked the doors, the sacristy, the choir loft. Every sound echoed too loudly. Even the click of my flashlight felt intrusive, like I was disturbing something that wanted to stay undisturbed. By the second night, I noticed the candles on the main altar never really went out. No matter how carefully I snuffed them, they'd be burning again an hour later, small, steady flames, like the breath of someone sleeping. I mentioned it to Father Mathers the next evening, and he only said that the church has its ways. He said it while staring at the altar, like he was expecting it to answer him. After that, I started hearing the voices, low at first, too faint to tell if it was the wind or something else. They came from the direction of the crypt beneath the nave, where the oldest tombs were sealed. It sounded like chanting. Not like a hymn, though. The rhythm was wrong, too fast, too sharp. I asked Father Mathers if people used the crypt for prayer, and he told me to never go down there after dark. He said it so quickly, so firmly, that it didn't even feel like advice. It felt like an order. On my fourth night, I saw lights moving inside the chapel after midnight. Flickering orange glows that looked like candlelight. When I opened the doors, there were 6 or 7 people kneeling in the pews, heads bowed, whispering something in Latin. Father Mathers was at the front, hands raised over the altar. I froze at the doorway, unsure if I should interrupt. Then I heard one of them whisper a word that made the hair on my neck stand up, "Apright." I didn't know Latin, but something about that word sounded like a key turning. The next morning, I told Father Mathers what I'd seen. He said those were special prayers for protection and that they kept the church standing. He said that without them, the town would start remembering things better left buried. I tried not to think too hard about it, but I couldn't ignore the smell. By the end of the week, there was this faint metallic scent near the altar, like rust or blood on cold metal. The more I cleaned, the stronger it got. When I lifted the altar cloth one night, I found scratches on the stone beneath. Tiny, desperate marks, as if someone had clawed at it from below. The older parishioners started showing up more often, always near 3 a.m. They never looked at me. Just walked past, knelt, whispered, left. One of them, a frail man with clouded eyes, stopped beside me once and muttered something I still can't forget. He said, he prays to keep it asleep. And then he smiled, not kindly, but like someone remembering a private joke. That night, the church bell rang on its OW and it was almost 2 a.m., and the rope hung still, untouched. The sound didn't echo right. It seemed to come from beneath the floor, vibrating through the wood and into my chest. I followed it to the crypt door, which was unlocked for the first time. The air down there was heavy, thick, like breathing through cloth. I don't remember deciding to go in, but I did. There were markings on the walls, burned symbols, blackened like candle soot. And in the center of the room stood a bell, small and bronze, covered in strange reversed letters. Around it were circles of melted wax and dried red stains that weren't from candle waxed. I heard a voice then, not behind me, not ahead of me, but everywhere. A whisper that felt like a breath on my ear. It said the same word I'd heard before, ape-right. When I looked up, Father Mathers was standing at the top of the stairs, his face pale, his eyes wet. He told me not to stop it, that if it wakes, it won't stay in the church. He said he'd tried for years to keep it contained, but his strength was failing. Then he was gone. I heard the side door slam, and the night swallowed the sound. The bell stopped. The whispers didn't stop, they've never stopped. I left that night. Packed what I could and drove until the church was just a shadow in the rearview mirror. That was 3 weeks ago. But every night, somewhere between 2 and 3 in the morning, I still hear that same tone, faint, distant, coming from nowhere, the bell of St. Alden's, calling something I don't want to understand.
Like, comment, and subscribe. The Room 13 still has many doors left to open.